So, of course, as we say, very good day to all of our viewers, reminding that the Hinterland Intelligence Committee, which was recently re-established, uh, has a number of stakeholders who are collaborating with each other uh, in being able to see security and peace throughout Guyana, particularly with emphasis on our hinterland regions. I've got with me today the Deputy Commissioner of Administration and team of those representatives from various agencies and stakeholders that are part of the Hinterland Intelligence Committee, who will discuss a little bit about what the committee is doing and how it is better working to serve all Guyanese in making sure that we are protected. Good day to you, Deputy Commissioner.
Good day, Stan, and good day to all our viewers.
All right. And if I can give all of us a chance coming from this end for you to just introduce yourself and the agency that you represent.
Thank you. Rajendra Singh, the Assistant Commissioner for the Guyana Authority on Enforcement and Investigations Division.
Thank you, Stan, and good day to you and your viewers. Thandi McAllister, Director of Legal Services, Maritime Administration Department.
Thank you, Stan, and good day to your viewers as well. I am Lemuel Cromwell. I'm the Director of Monitoring and Compliance at the Guyana Wildlife Conservation and Management Commission.
Good day again, I'm Brutus.
And thank you, and welcome to your viewers. My name is Sonya, Reece, and I'm Assistant Commissioner for Forestry at the Forestry Commission.
All right, good day. My name is Captain Gerry Gouveia Jr. from the Aircraft Owners Association, the private sector body of aviators in Guyana.
Good day, viewers, colleagues. Deputy Commissioner Khemraj Pareshram, Executive Director of the Environmental Protection Agency.
All right. So since we started at this end, I'm going to start at this end with our first question and asking, since the establishment of the Hinterland Intelligence Committee, how do you see the importance of this committee and your agency's collaboration?
Yeah. Thank you again, Stan. The EPA is an agency that has a very broad mandate, primarily to provide for and to coordinate the effective management of natural resources and the environment, basically to prevent and control pollution and to ensure sustainable development of our natural resources. Now, we are centralized in Georgetown, and of course, the length and breadth of Guyana comprise natural resources, and the economic activities are widespread across the country. So it has been a challenge over the years for EPA to effectively respond to a situation or issues of breaches of the Environmental Protection Act on a timely basis. Not that we were not responding, but responding on a timely basis. Of course, we had, over the years, we had ad hoc cooperation and collaboration with key agencies like the Guyana Forestry Commission, the Guyana Geology and Mines Commission, and the Guyana Police Force, for example. But I believe that through this dedicated coordination or this intelligence committee will help us to ensure that strengthened partnership and targeted efforts to ensuring that we ensure compliance and respond to situation across the length and breadth of Guyana. So the key thing is partnership.
Partnership, I like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Stan. Actually, building on what Khemraj just said, it's all about partnership, you know, and from the private sector perspective, we have to be able to work with the government agencies, with the government in general, to make sure that the prosperity of Guyana is our number one priority. So, you know, we, in the private sector, especially in the aviation industry, we're committed to working with the police, with the EPA, Forestry, GRA, and so on, to ensure that we have the ability to collaborate. At the end of the day, we're here to serve Guyana, you know, in different capacities, but we all have the same goal in that we want to see Guyana get better. So our role here as part of the Aircraft Owners Association of Guyana is that we want to collaborate as The majority of the commercial air operators, we're looking to give support to any one of the organizations through the HIC, so that we can make sure that we have a collaborative effort going forward.
Ms. Reece.
So the Guyana Forestry Commission is responsible for state forests in Guyana. We're the regulated agency for harvesting of logs in Guyana. We have over 30 forestation across the length and breadth of Guyana. And the GFC maintains that its mandate is to ensure that the roads are safe for all road users, and especially those who are transporting forest produce. And so this committee has been really impactful to the Guyana Forestry Commission, because we have a chance to make sure that safety, which is very important, safety today, and so that we can be safer for tomorrow. So having the GFC as part of this committee is going to strengthen what we do in terms of making sure that logs and lorries coming from the interior locations are safe, they're well equipped with the cones and the reflectors, and making sure that all road users and stakeholders are safe.
I'm going to skip Deputy Commissioner and come over to you, Mr. Hodder.
Okay. At the Wildlife Commission, our vision is to secure the future of our wildlife. And we know that it's a fact that managing the same resources in isolation does not work. This committee actually changes that. We are here in the same room providing information, and we can make better decisions with more information than we would have been doing in isolation. For our commission, our numbers are small, and we have to manage the almost 215,000 square kilometers. So, of course, we need the support from the agencies here and, of course, the police. But it's also not a one-way street, where the commission also has things that we can bring to the table for the benefit of the agencies and Guyana as a whole.
Thank you, Stan. Thank you for your questions. The Maritime Administration Department is the national regulator of the maritime sector, and one of our principal objectives is to ensure safety of life at sea, and especially in this instance, navigational safety of our internal waters. We have established safety centers in several hinterland regions, including regions 1, 2, and 7. And it is important that the Maritime Administration Department is a part of this committee because of the sensitive nature of our maritime industry and how important safety and security is for all of us. Also, there is no single agency that has the full capacity to properly survey and to effectively conduct all that is required, all of the surveillance and engagement required in any of our hinterland regions or hinterland regions collectively. So it is important that this sort of collaboration is promoted and that it is sustained. And we are happy to be a part of this committee. We see the value in it. We get to further understand the objectives and the aims of other national agencies, and we also get to understand how best, as a collective, we can all contribute to the maintenance of peace and good order.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The Guyana Revenue Authority has always been a partner in development of our country, and together with all the sister agencies, we've been collaborating to a very large extent, especially with the Guyana Police Force, the Guyana Defense Force, the Coast Guard Arm, the Maritime Administration also too. We have been collaborating with them to ensure not only the people are in compliance with Guyana trade, tax, and border laws, but through responsible enforcement and education and training via various means, through the media or what have you, we would inform these people about what is required in order to become in compliance with the necessary laws. We know for a fact that there are various challenges in achieving those objectives. And in order to circumvent those challenges, we have adopted several measures in doing so. not in very draconian measure, but also to go out, talk to the people, have discussions with them, see what challenges they're facing, and devise ways and methods how we can be able to assist these people. Now, being part of this committee, it strengthens our effort to collaborate with all the various agencies, not only with those who have been traditionally been encountering with, but also the other agencies such as the Wildlife Division, the Forestry Commission, the GGDMA, GEA. This forum brings us all together so that we can share our knowledge and devise ways of how we can better educate these people and bring them into compliance with the trade tax and border laws. Our focus really not only for revenue as such, but also to ensure non-revenue instances are also in compliance with the law. All right, so we are happy to be part of this also.
Thank you very much. And that brings me to the next question, which I'm going to throw first to Deputy Commissioner of Administration here at the Guyana Police Force. Especially when we think of the fact that the Guyana Police Force singularly has commenced what is known as a robust skills training program and partnership with various communities at the behest of the Commissioner of Police, who heads the Hinterland Intelligence Committee. But evidently there are some areas of concern that citizens should be aware of or should be cognizant of in being able to support the work of the HIC. If you could perhaps just identify one, and should anyone have any other suggestions that they'd like citizens to be able to be aware of as we go forward with the work.
Yes, thank you. As the premier law enforcement agency in the country, we have a mandate to make sure that our citizens are safe throughout the borders of Guyana. We cannot do it on our own. Each agency would have some capacity and limitations, and this forum is geared towards information sharing and other resources as well, human and other resources, to achieve the objective collectively to make sure that our citizens are safe and that all the necessary missions and mandates that we have at respective organizations are achieved in that regard as well. While it is critical for us to have information at the as top priority to make decisions that are necessary to ensure that we ensure safety for the people, also the citizens have a part to play, and that is to support the work of each agency, whether collectively or whether we go as an individual organization. At times, it will be dependent on the circumstances. One or agency or the other will take the lead role while the other support, and then it might have a change around. But challenges that we face out there would be the lack of appreciation and understanding of citizens of what we are there to do. And in that regard, we'll have sometimes negative responses from citizens which prevent and obstruct the work of any one of the agencies. So we would request that citizens appreciate and support, and if there are concerns and there are doubt as to what is happening there, they can also call the numbers that we have on our website to have clarity or make any complaints so that we can be allowed to do our work most effectively.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to add?
Yes, Dan, thank you.
Go ahead,
And I'm glad that the Commissioner mentioned that role and function that police force plays, and particularly what this committee will now also strengthen. I think, in the past, we were sort of tunnel vision. We were operating in silos. And so reports, for example, a member of the public would notice an infraction of a particular law. They don't know who to go to. They don't have access to that information. And they may have gone in the past to, say, GFC and say, look, there is a crime, drug smuggling, for example. But GFC being there, but they can't respond. And so that information doesn't get in a timely manner to the Guyana Police Force, which is the main authority. But through this mechanism, I think we all need to recognize this too, that we can take matters that are brought to our attention and effectively communicate it among ourselves. So that quick response measure and on feedback from and reporting from the public, through this mechanism will be better strengthened, and we will be able to respond in a much more effective manner. And importantly, though, is that I think we'll have to inform the general public about the various mandates and what we expect of them as well in terms of understanding what the laws are. Because we're not just talking about general public, but we're talking about the fuel suppliers, the forestry operators, and where they are possibly in breach of or likely to be in breach of, and how they must come into compliance. Again, I know Ginger from Gerry mentioned something very important. It's not about bringing the high arm or the long arm of the law always, but it's the support to bring them into compliance. And that's what I think is an important role that this committee will play.
Absolutely, and I must commend the police force for setting up and running this, especially in the way that they have embraced technology. They put all of the key stakeholders as part of the committee on a WhatsApp group, for example. We're all in constant communication, so as situations develop, it reduces the ability for miscommunication and wrong information, straight up wrong information to be passed around. So that's also going to help with the objective of the collaboration side of it. And sometimes a lot of the issues that we're having in the hinterland community, it could just be a matter of miscommunication that this can stop almost immediately before things actually become a problem that the enforcement arm needs to go in with the high arm of the law that Khemraj just pointed out. So I think this is a great mitigating factor that we get to engage with the stakeholders and eventually with the communities. And I think that it has a lot of potential going forward.
Awesome. The GFC is particularly thankful to Commissioner Higgins for the resuscitation of the HIC committee. This is going to play a critical role for the Guyana Forestry Commission. Coming in the several weeks ahead, there will be stakeholders meeting involved in highlighting issues of road use and persons and lorry owners and truck owners who will be transporting forest produce through the length and breadth of Guyana, even in the interior location. And that meeting will comprise of senior officers from the Guyana Forestry Commission along with traffic ranks from the Guyana Police Force, working together inclusively.
Awesome. I think before this meeting, some of us could admit that we would have taken the work of another agency for granted, maybe thinking of it as less important. And with this meeting, we start to see how the work of each other actually have severe effects on the work that you do with your agency.
Ripple effect.
It does. And then now you realize that there is an opportunity to eliminate that, and not just for us here at this forum, but even for the general public. They may have the thought of, it's just a log, it's just a parrot. And before you know it, we're messing with our oxygen. And for this forum, I think it's very important that we can see that, and knowing how important the other agencies' work is, and how important the collaboration is. So with this going forward, we truly hope that it's sustained, and we here and the general public realize how beneficial it can be for all of us.
And already we at the Maritime Administration Department have seen the benefits of this collaboration. We have seen a vast improvement in our relationship, particularly with the Guyana Police Force, and with them understanding the role of MARAD. And it is important, I think Khemraj mentioned it, that what is critical is that people are aware of to whom they should go to deal with specific issues. We do not have enough eyes and ears on the ground as individual agencies, but together, I think that we are better able to manage a number of the issues that our principal stakeholders, the general public, would face. So for instance, in Region 1, we have been able to develop a very good relationship with the Guyana Police Force in Region 1. and they are aiding with the monitoring of maritime activities. And so we get quick report of incidents or accidents or any infringement of any of the maritime regulation or laws. And that enables us to quickly respond and to dispense with whatever the problems that stakeholders are facing. So I believe that, as I've mentioned before, this collaborative effort and a collaborative management of a number of the challenges is indeed the way in which we should go, and we thoroughly embrace it.
Thanks a lot. Rajendra?
The thing is, whilst this, the objective of this committee is designed to meet the objectives of the individual units that participate in it, the GRA, the Maritime Administration, EP, and so on. Each individual unit seeks to get individuals to be in compliance with their respective laws administered by the department. But the thing is also, though, this HIC is designed to focus specifically on the welfare of the people in the region, especially the people in the region, and what can be done to improve not only their livelihood, but in the event that they have to enter into the business and they don't know who they have to go to, what they have to do, what documentations are required. It's designed to focus on their requirements. So whilst we will be looking at our objectives also, though, it is the objectives of the people out there, especially those in the hinterland communities, who may not have access to all the resources that that may be required, transportation, finance, other forms of resources that may be required in order to uplift their well-being.
All right. So finally, let me just ask this, because we don't want to burden our viewing public with too much at this time. We will be having a lot of these sessions as we continue with the work of the committee. But we know that resistance to change is somewhat of a bugbear to development. Not only in Guyana, but the world over. People are usually somewhat resistant. And sometimes they just need some sort of assurances or reassurances. Given this committee's reformation, as well as your individual partnerships, what assurances can you give to the citizens that it is important for them to be able to have this kind of collaboration, to be able to make citizens safe? Because that's one of the things I keep hearing, is to make Guyana safe and to help with development. Who's gonna?
So I'll jump in
Go ahead.
first. It is important that we help citizens to understand their role in the maintenance of peace, good order, and their own safety and security. Oftentimes, we say, this is a responsibility of the Guyana Police Force or the Guyana Defense Coast Guard. This is Mara's responsibility. It is important that as citizens, we also recognize our individual and collective responsibility. However, it is important for agencies as ours to engage in public education, and it has to be continuous and sustained. If we give people the right information, I think that will help to reduce fear, because it will bolster their understanding of the system and the processes, and it will also increase their confidence in the national agencies and what we do.
Awesome. I like that.
I think our assurance can be to having the citizens know how the system actually works. Oftentimes you would have complaints, a person who, they don't know what's in their mandate, what the law requires you to do, what obligations you have to the law or other agencies, but then there's a demand on what to do. I think we can commit to ensuring that for wildlife management and for the management of water resources, that the citizens know where to go, who to call, how you apply, what you need, and if there is some sort of an infringement, how that can be handled, and the possible results from dealing with the matter from our end or as a collaborative effort.
Thanks. I'm gonna come to.
So the Guyana Forestry Commission believes that for a safe tomorrow, have safety today. And so our mandate is clear that we want to make sure that our stakeholders and all road users maintain that they're safe on the road, and so that all trucks and lorry owners transporting forest products, we are going to continue to make sure that we have training sessions, we have development workshop, educating them. We meet every Tuesday with senior officers of the Guyana Forestry Commission, making sure that persons are aware of what we are doing as a commission, along with the Guyana Police Force, to make sure that the roads remain safe and that no logging truck will be involved in any incidents and accidents on the roads of Guyana.
Thanks a lot.
Absolutely. I think this really ties into President Ali's vision of one Guyana, where we're seeing the mix between the different agencies, both private sector and public sector, where we will have different perspectives. You know, you take an accountant into a room and he will start seeing the cost of everything, cost of construction and so on. You take an operations person and there he will start seeing how he can make the workflow happen. You start taking a customer in there, they're gonna look at the color of the walls and see if it's making them feel comfortable. So the different perspectives that we each bring to the table will allow us to approach the hinterland issues in a multifaceted, multidimensional way. And that is the definition of one Guyana. So what it will also give us an ability to do is reach out into the communities and speak with them. Sometimes, you know, maybe the uniform of the police might be intimidating, so people may not want to speak. Maybe they'll feel more comfortable speaking to somebody from forestry, or maybe someone, maybe the pilot who's landing on the ground at Mbambalai, for example. And with that information gathering, we're getting it from different people in different capacities, and that will now start to form an intelligence picture that we can now use to effectively engage with these communities. So it's going to give us a perspective that maybe we don't have now, and the collaboration is going to take us to that, to solving that problem.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
And thanks. And I'm going to use a slogan that we use in the environment. We say the environment is everybody's business. And so hence, when we talk about what assurances we can give to the wider public, enforcement of laws, I mean, we have them. I don't think the laws are there for us that we must come with it, as I mentioned, with some strong enforcement and lock up or arrest and that sort of. That's not the intention. That's not the primary intention. Is that members of the public, all of us here, understand the law and we abide by the law. And what Thandi said about education and awareness in forestry, that is an important role. But how do we do that? We have a committee, all right? But we've got to ensure that whatever decisions and information we have at this level transcends and goes to the persons on the ground, our representatives on the ground, representative of the police force, the junior officers, the officers of the Guyana Wildlife Commission, the officers of the Forestry Commission, the EPA, so that they now can be able to engage the general public and the people on the ground and come on a basis of not just strict enforcement, but achieving what you call compliance assistance, so that they understand the law and all in all can improve how people get into compliance and achieve compliance with the law.
We'll turn to you, Rajendra.
Change is always inevitable. It's there, it's inevitable. We have to adopt the changes. To get those changes, to get people to accept the changes is always difficult. In most instances, it's always difficult, especially if people are accustomed to do one thing, one way all the time, and they've been benefiting, irrespective of how lawful it may be. We in this committee, we are intended to ensure that if the changes are for the benefit of the wider community, then we have to go with it. instead of having individual beneficiaries for whatever the intents, all the intents and purposes of this committee, we have to ensure that the wider community benefits are not only in a particular committee, but the general committee, especially those in the hinterland regions.
And we're going to put a wrap on it by asking the thoughts of the Deputy Commissioner Administration, Mr. Brutus.
From the perspective of the Guyana Police Force, safe communities is our priority and also the priority of every citizen in this country, whether you are running an organization or an individual citizen. We've seen many studies in other parts of the world where a safe community and the absence of crime is a great contributor to development, national development. We are now taking off on the trajectory to development, and is in the interest of all the stakeholders here and also the citizens who play a critical part to assist in making sure that we accomplish this goal and in order to help develop our country and our accelerate the process of development. The best way to achieve this is by the stakeholder approach, collaborating with each other and with citizens by them sharing information that is critical to individuals, stakeholders on this committee mandate, that we can accelerate the process. And unnecessary crime and violence disrupt daily lives and cause unnecessary hardship to all of us, whether you're in the police force or in any other agency or a basic civilian. And this approach here, as we progressed in understanding and appreciation how we can fill the gaps where each organization falls short, would help us to achieve that goal of assisting national development, because that is what our ultimate aim is.
Thank you very much, Mr. Brutus. And of course, I want to say thank you very much to all of us who are here as members of the Hinterland Intelligence Committee. And just to let those of you who are looking at this know, this is just a part of the wider grouping, and we will certainly be having more sessions, information sessions, to be able to disseminate information to you and continue to follow the Guyana Police Force's Facebook page and the agency's individual Facebook pages for further details. We want to say thank you for joining us, and we certainly hope that this was a little bit more information on how the Hinterland Intelligence Committee operates.